Welcome. Thanks for coming today for the fourth part of our command workshop. In this one, we're going to talk about the Lead Accelerator. We're going to repeat this series again next month, so starting again next week, but with updated content because they have, like on the Setup for Success, which will be next Monday's class, they have added some new things. They've changed some stuff. So we'll repeat the series, but it'll be updated. So if you've got want to work through that again, if you've got questions on it, that's great to just keep coming back. I'm going to reserve time at the end of all of these too, like about a half an hour or so after each class, just to work one-on-one if people need help with things. Yeah, you're welcome. So we'll dive right in. We've got people live streaming, so when we do questions, I will repeat the questions. I'm not just talking to myself. And with that, we'll get going on the Lead Accelerator. Again, this is me. If you haven't met me yet, I'm Marty Richter. I'm here to help you. That's all you need to know. So quickly, looking at the path of the tech-enabled agent. Again, this is the curriculum that Keller Williams is building all of their technology training around. There's the 4 tiers to create, customize, cultivate, and capitalize. And today, with the Lead Accelerator, that falls into a few different places, but it mainly follows into the cultivate. Scale your lead generation with automated dynamic ads and landing pages across multiple channels. So the Lead Accelerator was built as a place where you can go to create both online and offline marketing for your properties, for your events, to create brand awareness, just to attract listings around just sold, advertised listings, whatever it is. This is a one-stop shop where you can go in, you can build out the digital advertising or postcards for the offline, and it can pull in photos and information right from your listings, so that's a little less that you have to manually do and type. And they built it all into this one platform where it plugs directly in with things like Facebook and other tools like that, so that you can get strong analytics and reporting on the back end. So like I said, we're going to repeat the command workshop starting again next Monday. It's going to be the same 4 classes in a row with the Setup for Success. What's the second one? Hyperlocal lead generation, where we talk about landing pages, and they've made a lot of improvements on landing pages over this weekend. And then the opportunities, which is now the sales pipeline, and then we'll do the Lead Accelerator again. And then the 5th week is just going to be a command Q&A. We'll address what people really want to know. Maybe I'll put out a survey ahead of time or something. We are going to shift these from 12 to 12:30 starting next week, just so we have a little cushion between Ignite if people want to grab a snack, go to the bathroom, whatever. We're just going to have a little cushion there. So we'll have a half an hour between Ignite and the command workshops next month. So if you haven't yet, which hopefully you all have, you log in at agent.kw.com. And again, this is your same MyKW username and password that you use to log in to MyKW, KW Connect, any of the KW tools, and Kelly. There. So getting started with the Lead Accelerator. It's an intelligent cross-channel marketing tool to elevate and simplify the ad creation. When you are logged into the command dashboard, it looks basically like this, but they actually added one more piece over the weekend. It's on the tile Lead Accelerator, or on the left, it's the little megaphone looking icon. And here it says, first of its kind, real estate focused marketing automation system that leverages the proven content, user insights, and KWLS listings. So again, you'll be able to pull in those listings right from the KWLS. And they have started rolling out KWLS 2.0. So they have a completely overhauled, brand new KWLS that they're starting to launch. It utilizes a different IDX service on the back end, which is the service that takes the MLS listings and basically puts them out on a consumer digestible platform. So that's what grabs your listings and puts it to somewhere the consumer can search for it. And in the past, every company out there has had to rely upon a third-party company to provide that service. That creates a number of issues. One, it's a third-party service. We kind of have to play by their rules. It's a subscription that the office has to have. It means we got to pay a bill, which is no fun. And it introduces the opportunity for additional time delays. I mean, how many of you have put a listing on, go into the KWLS a half hour later, an hour later, 4 hours later, and it's not there? No one? One? Just one person? Okay. Just one person in the room had that. Wow. That's pretty good. I think it's safe to say that everybody experiences that from time to time. With the new IDX that they have in place, and not all listings are in there yet. They're still rolling it out, but most of them are. We're looking at 5 minutes or less. 5 minutes or less for your listing to go from the MLS to be ready to start to sync out. That's been a pain point for some people because depending, if you're waiting for your listing to show up on a third-party site, if you hit the time just wrong, it can be up to 72 hours for your listing to get pushed out. Most cases it's 24 to 48, but it can be up to 72. With this new one, 3 to 5 minutes, that's the fastest that anybody in the industry has. Well, no one in the industry has that yet. We will be the fastest. So that's super exciting. That's a huge advantage for you guys, especially being able to get the listing, put it on, and begin that marketing literally in a few minutes. So there's a few pieces. The Lead Accelerator, it will help you remove the guesswork. It's been created by agents, just like everything else that we've got. This is leveraging the proven content and determine the budget allocation strategy to maximize the value of each dollar. So you'll be able to track your ROI from end to end. When you say how much money you want to spend on advertising, you get to direct and adjust how much goes to Facebook, how much goes to Instagram, these different platforms. And then on the back end, you're going to be able to see very in-depth metrics. So you'll know, hey, my money was not very well spent in this case on Instagram. Maybe I should drop it, or maybe I should change the message, change the picture. You'll be able to see how you can adjust those things. And those metrics will show up right in Command. So they have an integration with Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, all of these services. They have a direct connection with their advertising tools. And the other advantage to that is that you can launch an ad around listing 123 Main Street, and you can advertise it on multiple platforms, and your card only gets charged once. Your card doesn't get charged by LinkedIn advertising, Twitter advertising, Facebook and Instagram, and all these services. You just have that one less to track for you there. So you can leverage your insights and metrics, and then ask Kelly for help. In the future, Kelly will be able to suggest the optimal and strategy, or the optimal ad strategy based on your context and your goals and your listing. So as we begin to leverage these tools more and more, Kelly gets smarter. And again, that's Kelly, the artificial intelligence, not Kelly, the app. It's a little confusing. Kelly, the app, will be undergoing a name change very soon, and it'll be Command Mobile. Should make things a little more clear. I was super confused by that, so most people are.
But Kelly's still going to be a help feature.
Kelly will be a help feature. Kelly will be the artificial intelligence that powers the mobile app and that powers Command. And Kelly will be the smarts that is analyzing things, finding connections and correlations in data, in listings, all kinds of stuff, and also in your reports. So you'll be able to see some very customized, curated information to really help you take your business to the next level. Zach? Yep.
Didn't he say that you don't have to re-download either and it will automatically?
Yeah, it'll just be an update one day if you've already got Kelly. If you don't, quick get it before the class is over. I'm going to check. Come around to all your phones and check. Yeah, it'll just come as an update. So one night be an update, you do the update, and all of a sudden you'll see it's no longer called Kelly. It'll just be Command Mobile. So let's do a little tour of Command, but a tour of the Lead Ad Accelerator, or the Ad Accelerator. And then in just a little bit, we'll dive in and you can kind of start playing around. The nice thing is you can play around and you could do drafts and you can try different ads without actually launching them to see how the tool works. So you can familiarize yourself with it quite a bit before you ever have to pay to launch something and get the hang of it. The main pieces to it, obviously your settings are under your name, under settings. Create campaigns are over here. Over on the left, there's a few tabs where you can access your existing campaigns, set up your payment profile, and then it's going to keep a record of all your archived campaigns. So you'll be able to go back and reference those things or just copy and duplicate them again if it was an ad that really worked for you. You'll have different filters, so you can narrow down to just view your active ones or your drafts or your past ones. A lot of this is very similar to Facebook's advertising tools because they're super powerful. And they're also very easy to get lost in because they have so many options. They have more options than any of you care. you'd have to take a 3-day course just to get the hang of Facebook ads or do a whole lot of trial and error. And then within each ad that's listed, you can see where it's advertised, the status, your budget, and the metrics will begin to fill out within a couple of days of running your ad, impressions, clicks, things like that. And then you can easily get into edit or delete those ads. Yeah.
I just wonder what CPM was.
CPC is the cost per click, and CPM is, I forgot. Hmm? Is it the impression? Okay. So there's a couple of things you have to do if you haven't yet to get set up to be able to do the ads. You have to connect the services that you want to advertise on. So like I said, you can advertise on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and there's a few others. So if you go into your settings under your name in the top right corner and then click settings, you can go in. It should open up, and I forgot the slide for it. It should open up the applications window. And in the applications window, there's a few things listed. You know, there's the Google, your email, your calendar, things like that. As you scroll down a little further, there's a spot where you can connect Facebook, and you can connect, by doing that, it'll also connect Instagram, and you can connect Twitter and Google AdWords. And for the most part, when you click on those, it'll just bring you a login screen. You'll hit login, and it'll add the connection. If you have more than one page, it might ask you which page you want to connect. So if you have more than just a real estate business, you can pick and choose to connect the other one. And I'll go live and I'll demo that. I just kind of wanted to show you where that's at. Yeah.
So you'll connect to if your business page, connect to your personal account. You'll connect to your personal account plus to your business.
Yes. So the question was connecting to Facebook through your personal to your business accounts. Yeah, when you do the connection, it'll have you log in with your same Facebook login that you used for your personal one. And then it will be able to see the business pages that you're connected to, and you can choose if it's your real estate page or if it's your Tupperware party page or whatever you have. So yeah, the way Facebook works is you always have to go through your personal account to get connected. And if you try to connect the Twitter one and you have a problem, you do have to set up a Twitter ad account first. See me after. I don't have that in here, but I can walk you through that. It's free and it's super easy. You just have to pay when you actually go to run the ads. Like I said, when I go live, I'll demo that. So once you connect your accounts, then you have to add your payment profile or add your payment method. You can go in here and you can play around without adding that today. You just have to add the payment method before you actually can activate a campaign. You have a question? Yeah.
Some of us don't have much my business page, my personal page. What should we be using our business Facebook page to connect here, or our personal, or is there a way to do both?
The question is, should you connect your Facebook business or personal page, or both? You'll log in through your personal one, and then you can do all your posting on behalf of your business page, which would be the preferred way, because in your business page Facebook title, you can have it say, for example, mine would be Marty Richter, Realtor, Keller Williams Classic Realty Northwest. It's very clear and evident who my license is held with in that title. And then when you run those ads or you do posts on behalf of your business page, you can go and you can share them to your personal page. That's the recommended way, just to be on the safe side. The other nice thing about that is I think everybody probably has had that one or two friends that they do all of their business on their personal and they don't really do any personal on it. It's just annoying as heck. Every other post that they do is promoting their, what's that? Yeah, it could be their essential oils, it could be their Tupperware, their makeup, their It Works wraps, whatever it is. Everybody knows somebody that's been the person, and you finally unfollow them no matter how good a friend you are because you're sick of seeing it. So that's the other reason. Technically, if you do it all under your personal page, you're actually violating Facebook's rules. Whether they call you out on it or not is another thing. But yeah, it's always recommended to do them on behalf of your business page.
So you're going to walk us through that actual connection?
Yep. Yep, I'll go through that here. So when you go into the payment profile tab, it'll allow you to add your card. Again, you don't have to add that today to go in and play around with the settings. When you do, it just gives you the option to add your payment profile, and you can have multiples and set one as your default. Then it's fairly straightforward from there. When you're logged in to your Ad Accelerator, your Lead Accelerator, you're going to be able to go in and create a new campaign. Where the screen changed a little, but it'll give you a spot to put in the campaign name. There you go, right at the top of this window. And then you just go through and you check the services that you want to advertise on: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Google Ads, and then they're adding in LinkedIn ads, Nextdoor, and Zillow, but those 3 are not live yet. And then the offline one is real mailers. You got to hold tight a little bit on the real mailers. You can go through and you can do it, but the postcards aren't going out yet. So that's coming very soon. So not quite ready for that one, but that one's super cool, and I can show that to you guys.
You do real mailers already, just separately on your website.
Yeah, yes, good point. You can do the real mailers directly from real mailers on their website right now.
$9 for 100.
That's good.
It's really easy to drop where you need it. Well, probably not.
Yeah, so you can do that through your own Unreal mailers right now if you want to until they get this added. But once you pick your services, you just go and you select the dates and your total budget, and that sets up the framework for your ad. Talked about those. So the campaigns, once you do set up your budget, it has some predefined goals for your ad. You should never do an online ad or even an offline one without having a goal or a purpose to your ad. Otherwise, you're just kind of throwing stuff out there and see what sticks. Sometimes that works. However, that's not very intentional. You need a goal for it. You need to know, what is the purpose of your ad? Is it to attract listings? They have advertised listings, attract talent for hiring, brand awareness, event awareness, and they do have an other category. And when you choose one of those predetermined goals, that actually affects what the targeting is on the back end of the ad. So this service will do automated targeting. It'll pick who it thinks the ad should go to. And as we use the system more, it'll get smarter and smarter and learn more from it. But that'll affect the geographical region. It'll affect the age range, all kinds of different things like that within what Facebook will allow you to do. Yeah, question up here.
So on the media content, in the example pictures, will the AI know what's going to be the best, the most likely to click or an impression? And will that help suggest that stuff going forward? So let's say anything with a bright pink header gets more impressions and clicks versus say blue. Will that help us? Will that let us know that in the future? Or
Yeah. So will the system know and recommend, or know and recommend what kinds or types of pictures do the best based on the goal of your ad? Is that right?
yeah.
That's
Or,
as of now, it doesn't know. It allows you to fully customize the pictures yourself. That could be something. That'd be a great one to do to submit if it's not already on ideas.kw.com. I think that'd be very beneficial. I do know that they're not looking at adding in an image library, because the problem with that is you have 100 and however many thousand agents that are all choosing from the same 24 pictures. Like that'll oversaturate things and your ads will lose relevance. So, but if it can give you tips and tricks on what kinds of pictures to use, that would be very beneficial.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
So I'm connected to my Facebook page, but when I go to create this campaign, Facebook doesn't pop up as an ad channel. It should, right?
It should. There's 2 spots where you can connect Facebook within the settings. So I'd have to take a look at that. We can look and see. Got it?
I got it.
Okay, we're good. And then, like I said, on the back end, you'll be able to see all of those metrics on how your ad was performing. You'll be able to go in and see your total spend per channel, be able to see, the dates, the impressions, the how the ad is performing, so that you know if that was an ad worth running again or an ad worth scrapping. Maybe you just need to change it a little bit and do what they call A/B testing. You run the same ad but with a different picture. Run the same ad but with a different title. So I'm going to switch over to Command here. And let's go in to the Lead Accelerator. So I don't have any active campaigns right now. I was playing around in here a little bit, so I have a few drafts. I have a few archived ones. And so if you don't have it up already, once you log into Command and then click on the Lead Accelerator so that you can get in here and kind of play around with it together. And then before we move on, I think we have.
We're gonna do something really fun, and we're just gonna give a little card quick to somebody that's randomly in here. So there are 27 people in here, so I'm just gonna have Siri give me a random number, and then whatever number correlates, just give it. Hey Siri, pick a number between 1 and 27. Hey Siri, pick a number between 1 and 27.
We're just proving right now that Siri's not as smart as Kelly.
25, which says Nate Pence.
All right. Nate Pence wins a Shamrock Shake. Or whatever. Okay. All right. Continuing on. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to go into my settings. If you've already got yours connected, you don't have to go in here right now. You could stay, but I'm going to show you where you go to connect your accounts. Let me disconnect mine. Just disconnect all of mine there. Okay. So when you go into your settings, and then if it didn't already open up, the applications tab on the left, you'll see the services that you can connect. As you scroll down, you should see a social section that has Facebook and Twitter post scheduling. And down below, there's a marketing automation section, which is your regular Facebook and Twitter connections. The post scheduling is just like it sounds. You can go and you can schedule posts through there. Similar to Hootsuite, does not have all the same exact features as Hootsuite right now. Like when you schedule your post, it just automatically picks when to post it. Some people like that, some people don't. The reason for it is that it's going to pick when it thinks it's going to get the best engagement. Functionality is still expanding and being labbed on that. They are going to be adding a time, right, so that you'll be able to manually schedule a time because you maybe don't always want to go with their recommended one. Yeah, question.
Would there be an advantage to using the scheduler versus just the one that lets
The advantage to using this one versus like scheduling it right through Facebook is that once they have this a little more robust, the metrics will report in your same dashboard right here automatically, and you wouldn't have to go to two places to look at the metrics and how your posts were performing. So that's the biggest one because the Facebook one works really well. The functionality is still going to be expanded, improved, and labbed in here. I was part of a lab at at Family Reunion. We had to sit in a room with 40 people with Bobby Motes, David Voorhees, and some of the other top people that are running the labs department. And we labbed this. We talked about it. We discussed it, how we want this post scheduling to look. And they're going to be adding in the ability to probably do post scheduling through here to your personal page. So maybe you don't have you're not advertising a listing, but maybe you have some funny real estate meme that you want to post, on your personal page because it's just like as yourself, you're posting it. They're looking at maybe doing things like that, connecting with things like Instagram stories, Facebook, whatever they call their stories too, I think. I don't know. So that's kind of where this falls into place. If you are already logged into Facebook, this may be as easy as going to the Facebook one and clicking Connect Account. If not, it should bring you up a pop-up to put in your Facebook login. Let's see if I'm logged in. Yeah, so for mine, it brought up the pop-up, but I was already logged in. So I was able just to connect my Facebook. And if you want to, you can connect your post-scheduling one as well. So then the post-scheduling one, it said, hey, which page do you want to connect to? So I can either choose to connect to the Keller Williams Classic Realty Northwest one, or I can choose to connect to my own. That's it. It just connected those two. And like I said, the Twitter one, you do have to enable a Twitter ads account. So we can circle back on that. One's not as important right now. See if that one worked for me too. Yeah, so that one brought up the prompt for me to put in my username and password. Yeah.
So when I click on Connect Facebook.
Yep.
On the post scheduling, when I get below on-off switches, manage your ads, manage your business, manage this, and it shows me my business page with a couple of check marks, everything's checked to go.
You should be
Is
able
that
to
a step? Is that the first step?
You should be able to hit OK. Mine, I've already approved it. So you may get a box that says, manage your page, manage your business. You have to turn on and off these features. Go ahead and hit go. And you select your page. Yeah. So when the first time you connect, you might get a prompt that says you have to allow it to manage your page and manage your posts, but they're pre-checked, so you can just hit OK. All right. Is anybody else having problems connecting their Facebook page? Yours isn't connecting? Okay. Do you have it up right now?
Yeah. Clear out.
Or are you in the settings? Try to connect it. Settings. And then it should show up 2/3 way on the page. If you're stuck at a blank screen when trying to pull up any of these, just remember clearing your history does wonders. They did 43 updates over the weekend to Command. That's a lot of updates. Yeah. You should have the option to connect. So you put in, yeah, when you put in your Facebook login, it should prompt you at some point to select your business page. And if not, it's super easy to disconnect and reconnect. So yeah, we can check on that. Okay, so let's go in and let's play around with creating a campaign. Campaign can be used in a number of contexts. Sometimes campaign means a series, and sometimes it just means one. Sometimes they call an ad campaign one. In this case, it just means a one-time thing. This isn't like a series of 15 ads that you run back to back. So let's go in and click Create New Campaign. In the top right corner, sorry. There's a teal Create New Campaign corner, the Create Campaign button in the top right corner. And when you click in there, go ahead and give it a marketing name. This is just for your reference. This is so you can keep your stuff organized. The consumer won't see these. So if you want to play around with one right now, you don't have to worry about getting this exactly how you want it. Let's just say we're going to advertise a listing. I'm going to call it advertise listing. And I just went and grabbed one listing that somebody in the office has here. So 18558 99th Place North. And you can call it whatever you want. Again, that's just for your reference. Now I'm going to go through and I'm going to run this ad. I'm going to play around with Facebook and Instagram. We're not going to get into the other ones right now. The default is to schedule it for 10 days. You can go through and you can adjust your calendar days, 10 days starting tomorrow. You can go through and you can adjust those dates. It doesn't pay to start it today. You just have to plan things out a little. Because when you go to activate your ad here, it sends it to Facebook and Facebook has to approve it. And that's usually not instant. That takes a little time. So they default to start tomorrow. And if Facebook has some sort of a glitch or something in their image recognition software or any of their stuff, it could hold your ad up for another day or two. So when you're selecting an image for your Facebook ad, it's best to use an image that honestly has no text on it. Just straight up a picture of a house or a picture of people or whatever it is. If you're going to do an image and at the bottom try to have your branding on it, watermarked with a bar and your logo and your team name and the office logo and a phone number, website, all that stuff, their image recognition software is going to see that and it's going to know that you've got a ton of text on there and you're trying to cheat their advertising system. And it will either kick your ad back saying, nope, can't do it, or it'll let your ad go through, but its effectiveness will be reduced. It will reduce or throttle the number of people that it puts your ad in front of. So it's just not even worth it, honestly. So I'm going to leave it at the default 10 days, and the default budget is set at $25. You can change that and set a new default. And so that's saying it's going to spend $2.50 per day. Pretty small. I could go through and I could set this to whatever I want. Then go down and select your campaign goal. Let's select attract listing for this case. You go through and click configure campaign. So it goes and it divides up the amount. So here it picked to do 13 on Facebook, 12 on Instagram. It went as close to 50-50 as it can because it just does even dollars when you distribute that. In the case of advertising a listing, this is where it gets really cool. You can click search listing in the top left and it's going to pull in all of your listings. I have a ton. Nice thing is you're going to be able to go in here, and if you don't have any right now, you can view all the listings. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to search for the listing. Just say it was mine for pretend here. 58 99th place north. There it is. So here's this listing at 18558 99th place north. I'm going to go through and I'm going to hit select. Now that is going to automatically pull in pictures, property information, details, things like that, so that you have that to already work with, and then you can tweak it from there. Then it gives you a couple of tabs. It'll give you one tab for each of the platforms you wanted to advertise on. So we did Facebook and Instagram, so we just got these two. And then it'll give you the option, do you want to copy or overwrite your first channel's content to the other? That's if you just want to set this up and push this same exact thing to every platform. If you don't, you'll have the ability to set it up on Facebook and then customize it for Instagram. Your ads will perform better if you customize them for each platform. Instagram is a lot more image heavy. Facebook is not as much. Yeah, question?
Yeah, whose listings did you just pull in a second ago, Mark?
This is one of Carrie Schmitz's.
Okay, and we should not advertise somebody else's listing unless we have their written permission.
Right, we should not advertise somebody else's listing unless we have their permission.
Okay, and we can't be advertising another broker.
Yep, and not another broker's. Yep. The main reason that they have the ability to search all listings in these tools through the KWLS is so that it'd be easy for you to create an open house flyer, and things like that. If you're doing an open house for another agent, you could grab those photos and do things like that. It's not so that you can go advertise their listings on Facebook without their permission. That's frowned upon. You'll be in Greg's office very fast. So this is where I can go down, and now I can select a page. So even if I have multiple pages, I can pick and choose. And I'm going to pick my real estate page here. And in the left column, it's going to give me the content that I can build out. And then the right column is my preview. So right now you can see it says Keller Williams. As soon as the spinning wheel stops, it'll customize and it'll show that's coming from my page. So if you have a listing, go ahead and select one of your own to play around with us right now. There we go. It just changed. So that's going to add my business page photo, my business page title, and then it plugged in the property's description: timeless blends of wood and enameling with attention to detail. The kitchen offers this, blah, 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 blah. Then I can go through, and if I want to, I can select the MLS photos, or I can add my own if I had photos that were other than the MLS photos I wanted to utilize. I'm going to go through, and I'm just going to pick this one. You can add up to 6 images in here. You don't have to. You can do just 1 or 2, but you can add up to 6. So I'm going to do the front one there. Let's do, yep, they're bragging about the kitchen. We'll just pick 3 of them. And then I can go through and I can completely erase or just tweak the text that they put in there. I'm just going to keep it with what it is right now, but I'm going to add spaces because it pulled in some funny spaces in a few places. Here we go. It's a good idea to have your text be the tie-in between the pictures you're using and your call to action or the button that you have on your ad. Again, an ad without a goal or a purpose, you're just throwing it out there. You're not being intentional. So you have your text, your image, then you have a headline and call to action. Those should all tie together around the purpose. So what is your purpose? Is your purpose to have somebody fill out a lead form? Is it to have them click through to your website to view the neighborhood snap? Is it to download your app? Is it to register for client appreciation event or a buyer workshop that you're hosting. Those are the types of call to actions or goals that you might have for a post. And it could be anything from there. I'm just picking a few. So for my headline, maybe I just want to use a pre-written one, or maybe I want to use one that I come up with. So the pre-written ones, when I click in the box, it says, your dream home is on the market today. Discover what living it up really means. Is this your dream home? So these are some predefined ones that they studied, what kind of headlines perform well, and that's what they came up with. There's quite a few in there, honestly, but there's nothing wrong with using your own. Maybe I want to go with, don't miss this gorgeous listing. And you can see in my preview, it updated that text right below the photo. So go ahead and select. Again, this is just a draft. We're not actually producing or activating this one today. So go ahead and select one of the default or type your own. And then we can set, what do we want the call to action text to be? So what's the text? What do we want the button to say? The predefined ones are learn more, contact us, or open link, where it'll bring you to the website, basically. So I'm going to do contact us. Then I can add a link description. That's just a little additional line that you can add. Click here or click the button to access your neighborhood snapshot to see how the market's at in whatever the name of your neighborhood is. Or if you'd like more information on this listing, click the button, to get a report or whatever it might be. A lot of this advertising is a little bit of trial and error. You run an ad. If it doesn't perform, you tweak it and you run it again. These metrics will be very robust. They'll take a couple days to get, though. Yeah, question.
It almost sounds like it's parallel.
Functionality-wise, we'll have some similarities to listings to leads. As of right now, listings to leads does things that this can't do. Like listings to leads can create automated posts to send to your seller that they can post on their Facebook page to share their property. All that drives the leads to you. This handles a portion of what listings to leads can do, though. Then as we go in, we can set up where that link is. So if we wanted them to go to a landing page, if we wanted them to go to download our app, to just go to our website with the property's information, you can copy and paste that link in here. Or if you've set up a landing page for the neighborhood that this home's in already, you can go and select, by clicking the landing page button, you could go and you could select the snapshot. See, that's a topic for another day. That'd be for the hyperlocal lead generation class on the 8th. But if you go in and you set up a landing page, you can connect it right there. But
Probably should set up a landing page for all of this.
a landing page for all your listings would be an awesome idea. And hopefully you have those set up, or you get those set up, because all your listings, all your clients, your sellers, they should be in your database, and you should have their address. From there, it gets easy. They're also incorporating a new feature called Kelly Guides. They turned the first guide on over the weekend, and these guides are going to help you walk through how to create market snapshots, how to set up landing pages, and they also just launched the monthly neighborhood nurture email. So that is out, and they have a Kelly guide around that as well. So watch for some of that information over the next couple of days. So again, this is handling all of the targeting for me because I clicked on the purpose of my ad, and then if I want to, I can go through and I can tweak the age here, and I can tweak the location. So for this particular one, maybe I just want to advertise Maple Grove, and I can give it a radius, plus 20 miles, plus 19, 17, I can pick. And if I really want to get into it and I want to take control of this myself, I can toggle the expert mode switch, and I can get a few more targeting options, and then I can set up advanced targeting. And I would not recommend that for anyone that is new to Facebook advertising. Just go with the predetermined ones that they have built in here, because they have a direct connection with Facebook. KW is working with Facebook. They have access to the analytics, to the reports, so that they can see, what kind of topics, what kind of titles, what kind of targeting has been beneficial for real estate agents in their advertising. So I would just leave it on the standard mode. Oops. Then I can go here and I can save it, or I could go back up and customize my Instagram one if I didn't want to copyright it or copy it. I can go through and I can select my Instagram account. It's very much the same. I'm just going to show you the main difference is that you can pick if you want to do it as an Instagram ad or if you want to post it on your story. That's a cool feature that they just added. You have the ability to add a listing right on your story. Waiting for it to pull in an account here. There we go. So I just select add story, and then I could go through, do the same thing. I could select the photos. And now with Instagram, your images are shaped differently, so it'll let you crop it right here as well. Pretend it just let me crop it, because last night it did. It just gives you a box and it shows you, like, here's how we're going to crop it to fit, and if that's not okay, you have to tweak it a little bit. When you select your photo will show up here, and then it's going to plug in that same text, which you can tweak. Set the age, set the location, and that's it. So it's fairly straightforward. Once you've done a few of these ads, you could probably launch them really quick, especially if you knew that you had half a dozen headlines that you like to use and repeat, or a dozen different headlines. Maybe you use the same headline over and over. You just flip the order of the words in the headline. Maybe you run the same ad, but move what you had as the headline the first time, move that down to the bottom and take one of the other lines and make that the headline. Kind of just do a little bit of playing around to see what works well. There is no magic bullet when it comes to Facebook advertising for real estate. It's going to be a little bit different for everybody. And as the world changes, as the industry changes, as Facebook and Instagram change, different headlines, different links, things perform differently. So it's a trial and error game. If you ever find somebody out there that says that they claim to be the complete Facebook advertising guru, they may have been yesterday, but it changes every couple of weeks. So if they're not staying on it, they probably aren't going to be tomorrow. So I'm going to go through, and in this case, I'm just going to save this as a draft. So if I had saved and activated it, it would charge my card for the $25, and it would submit those for approval. Then once they're approved, it's going to run those ads, and the 10-day counter would start once it gets ran. So in this case, tomorrow. Did anybody actually go through and kind of click around in there and add one of their own listings, or just add another listing just to kind of see how that functionality works? What do you think about it? Does it seem kind of straightforward? Is it kind of confusing? Did it give you too many options? That's the goal, is that it did not give you too many options unless you flip that expert mode. With that expert mode, you can get into things, though, that could be really beneficial, like uploading customer lists. So maybe you have, coming from a different CRM, maybe you have a large database in your MailChimp list or in an email list. Maybe you want to upload that list and send ads to them, because maybe you want to get into helping people now invest in real estate. You could do ads targeted towards your past clients or towards leads like that. So the sky's the limit on how you could really take this and customize it. I didn't even get into the Google Ads one. It works very similar. However, in the Google Ads one, how many people here have gone and Googled something today? Probably almost everybody, right? Like while sitting here, most of you probably Googled something. The first two results, 2 or 3 that come up, they're the paid for advertising. And when you do the Google AdWords, you can get your ad, whatever you're running, published in Google that way. So if you're doing a home buyer workshop, if you were doing an open house, you can make your open house pop up in there if you wanted to. It doesn't do photos, but you can have the text in there. So it works very, very similar, though, in how you can go through and select a listing and select your text. The other one I'll show you, even though you can't do it yet today, is the real mailers. If I wanted to do a just sold, and I wanted to send that postcard out around a listing that just closed today. Say the listing closed this morning. I could go in and I could launch a real mailers, and as long as I do it by noon, the postcard, I think it's noon. 3? 3, yes. As long as I do it by 3, postcards will go out today.
You have your option to go first class or not,
First class or not, yep.
and that will determine the price. So if you go for 100 units, if you go first class, I think it's $99. If it's not first class, that's $79.
99 or 79, first or third. Yeah, so first class, you send that out. You close Monday morning. You send them out Monday afternoon. They could be in people's hands on Wednesday. I mean, like how fast did that? The sign's not even out of the yard yet. And you could have just sold postcards in their hand. So you go through and you select your real mailers. And then again, you pick the purpose. What is it? Maybe I want to attract listings. And I go and hit configure. It's going to give me a few pre-designed templates that they have. These designs will expand. KWRI has a marketing department building out templates. You'll also be able to do team templates. So you'll be able to design one for your team and have that be the standard default for all of your team marketing. But basically you go through and you search for a listing if you're going to advertise it this way. Whoops. Clicking back here. Let's pick that same listings. 18558 99th Place North. Oh. Oops. Did not take that. 18558 North. I should watch what I'm typing. There we go. Third time I got it. So I could go through and I could select my listing. It's saying the picture's invalid. That's because the picture's probably too low a quality. So you will have the option to upload your own. For print marketing, you're always going to want to go with a higher quality image. But I could go through there and select which template do I want to use. Yes, I've got 79 cents standard, 99 first class. And then that's a 6x9. If I want to go by a 6x11, then I'm at 89 standard or $1.20 first class. And then I do have an option for a 4x6 first class 59. It's probably worth it to go with something like a 6x9 or a 6x11. The 4x6s, they don't have as long of a shelf life. Like sometimes they don't make it in the house. So go through and select my template, and we'll pick the first one. And then I could go through and I could upload my photo. I don't have a higher quality photo of that house, but it tells you at least 300 DPI, or dots per inch. And then it tells you the resolution that you want. So that should be pretty standard that any professional photography you get on a property will be high enough quality to upload here. And again, just like before, it went through and it pre-populated as much as it could. So it pre-populated the property's address and the property description, which I maybe want to tweak a little bit. For this one, I wouldn't put the listing price, but if I was advertising an active listing, I could do that. Bedrooms and bathrooms, you can tweak that in case it came through wrong. And then I can go through and say, what's the label I want on it? Maybe I want to do a just sold label. It'll pre-populate with your own info if it's your listing. You could upload a higher quality photo, company logo. Those things will continue to expand and they'll probably pull through from your marketing profile. But for now, you do upload them because, again, you're going to want a higher quality picture. And I suppose this isn't going to let me proceed unless I pick a picture. Grab a picture quick.
Is it only JPEG format or can it go PNG or especially
JPEG or PNG.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Of course, I picked a low resolution one. Find a better one. Come on. Let's try that one. Well, either way, the picture I got's a little bit low resolution, but I could go through and I could tweak that and have a picture of myself. And grab a logo quick. Well, we'll just pretend that's a logo. Go through and I can save it as a draft or create and customize. Oh. It'll yell at you if you get anything wrong. Oh, there it came up. Try this again. Doesn't like my street address right now. Well, makes that a little difficult. Makes it hard for me to show you a demo of what the postcard's going to look like once it. The next step is it would go through and it would show me the postcard with the info that I put in on it. And then it'll give you the option to select who you want to send it to, which is what I really wanted to show you. Just going to try to put in a different address to see if it'll let me go. Well, that's how it goes sometimes. So this is where I'd go through and I could take a screenshot if I wanted to, and I could send it to labs. What it would let you do, though, is it would give you a map, and it would say, here's the address of that property. And if I set my budget at $200, it would show me, this is the area, and here's the dots that it's going to send to. I'd then have the option to say, I only want to send to owner-occupied residences. I only want to send to single-family homes. I could say, I only want to send it to homes that have a certain number of bedrooms and bath. Maybe I'm targeting based on what my home is. Maybe this is like a move-up home. I could target people that have smaller homes if I wanted to. Or maybe I don't care that. Maybe I want to target homes that have sold more than 5 years ago. I could pick that, and it'll only send to single-family homes that are owner-occupied that have not sold within the last 5 years. Is that for being intentional and not wasting your marketing dollars by sending postcards to people that just closed in the last 3 months? They're probably not ready to move. That probably wasn't even long enough for them to forget their real estate agent. So you'd be able to go through and make that super, super customized. And then as you change their criteria, the dots on the map will change as it'll get bigger and bigger to still hit your $200 budget, or you could adjust that down. So you have a very high level of control so that you're not advertising to people that it's not cost effective for you to advertise to. Do you want to send it to a bunch of non-owner occupied places if you're trying to get the listing? I mean, you could pick up a buyer, but that's not the purpose or the goal of your ad. So it'll allow you to go through and do everything in Real Mailers, but the postcards aren't sending out. You're not being charged yet. So hold off on that one. Like Nate said, for now, go to Real Mailers to their website and run them through there if you want to do it until we get this live. One of the big things that they needed in order for this to work the way they designed it was that activation of the new IDX or KWLS 2.0, and that got turned on Saturday or on Friday afternoon, actually. So that's the first step. We have relationships with most of the 650 MLSs in the country. So they're working towards it. They're getting closer and closer every day. And they've had such a high level of interaction and involvement with Command. Within 30 minutes of them turning Command on for everyone at Family Reunion, it became the largest real estate CRM in use. Granted, all those people, all they did was log in and add a contact or play around with it, but it instantly became the largest one in use in the world. So that's a good start. One of the things that KW is rolling out is a little bit of a direct connection with KW, with Labs, and with Bobby Motes, who's the director of Agent Labs. If you went to a Tech Roadshow, Bobby Motes was the guy with the slick back hair that was talking in a lot of the videos. And when they first launched it, people could communicate directly to Bobby Motes. That was awesome. As this is growing, getting bigger and bigger, and they're getting so much involvement from agents and interaction from agents, that's the scope of that's changing a little. That's getting a little hard for him to manage. So they're opening a direct connection to Bobby Moats, and they're selecting labs advisors. So they had over 450 applications to be a labs advisor. Think of it kind of like an ALC between the agents and Bobby Moats on the technology front. So I was selected to be a labs advisor. There's going to be about 30 of us in the country. So I'm kind of excited to see where that goes, but I'll be able to bring your concerns right straight to KWRI as you find things. So watch for more on that as that continues to grow. And if you've got questions, feel free to stay after here, and I can come around, walk through things with you, help you figure out the settings that didn't work, figure out what we got to do to get those handled, because inevitably they happen for somebody. And I do have a couple of questions. I'll follow up on these questions here in Zoom in just a second. So, any last minute questions here? No? All right. Thank you.